Hi there. How's it going, everybody? It's me, Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, and we're going to redo yesterday's Falcon Heavy launching a Tesla off to Mars in Kerbal Space Program using Realism Overhaul. I found a lot of things that we can improve upon, and today is going to be much better. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to show you what all has changed. Ta-da! Okay, so first off, for some new blood in the world, I got some much better looking Merlin engines, including a Merlin 1D vacuum engine that looks a lot better. I fixed a few things here and there, but most importantly, I got rid of Principia, or it looks like Principia. I still don't know how to say it, but it's a mod that made my computer run even worse than it does already using Realism Overhaul. But it also makes it way easier, so I can actually, what's that called? Oh, fly the thing. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? So yeah, I can actually do this now properly. Which makes for a little bit better stream. Also, I fixed a few other things, including this. Check this out. Look at that! I made it so. Oh, it did that thing again. Why does it keep doing this? But I made it so like there's kind of a thing that looks more like how the Tesla's really mounted in there. Ta-da! Which is great. There's a lot of questions in the chat that I wanted to really quick address. Falcon Heavy's not launching tonight. That's Zuma. I will be doing a live stream of Zuma tonight, which will be launching on Launch Complex, or Slick Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral. And that happens tonight in like 8 hours from right now. There's also Falcon Heavy. Just to answer the question, when's it going to launch? Get Spacex Now app on your phone. They'll tell you everything. That's what I go off of. So if you want to know what I know, get that app. And otherwise, like, if you keep saying, when's the Falcon Heavy launch? I don't know. No one really knows. Not even SpaceX knows at this point, guys. All right. We are going to go ahead. I think we're just going to throw this baby out on the launch pad and get ready to launch it. Let's make sure there's no Kerbals in there. That'd be bad. Well, there were. We don't want to kill them today. I don't know where Bob and Jeb went, or the other guys. Jeb and somebody else. Launchpad out of service. That's right. Last time I tested this, and of course, this Falcon Heavy, for whatever reason, was blowing up the launch pad, which is always fun. So yeah, my landing legs are clipped a little bit. It says banana time 101, but yeah, it'll still work. We're gonna repair this baby. Also, I made it so you can see this at night, and in order to really match our inclinations to Mars, we do have to launch this thing at night. So yeah. Bill, there we go. Bill's who we're missing. I think this is going to be a better version of how to represent this. Oh, hi. Neat 1972 TV mod that I had there for a second. All right, we're gonna launch this baby. I don't know why I loaded it up in the VAB instead of just loading it up on the pad. Whatever. All right. Mike 368 wants me to move a little bit to the side so his friend can see my Falcon models. La la la. Yes, they are great. I don't blame your friend for wanting to see those. I want to see them at all times. I'm thinking about just putting a mirror right here so that I can continually glance back. They are the best. Yeah. Wow, this is a long loading screen here. If you guys have questions about the app, join the SpaceX Now Discord server. Yes, Sebastian, go ahead and post that. I don't know how to really do that without making you a mod. Maybe one of the mods can figure that out. So here we are, guys. Look at this. We have a beautiful, just gorgeous. Look at that. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to target Mars again. So we're zooming out, zooming out, zooming out. Not zoom out. And clicking on Mars, we're going to set that baby as target. Ta-da. Now what we have to do is we just kind of have to match that inclination again. So notice again that the Earth is tilted. So this is going to be basically a repeat of yesterday. So if you hear things that I'm saying that are sounding familiar, well, I guess you watched yesterday too. So obviously the Earth is tilted at like 23.5 degrees or something like that, like this. We all know this. So in order to line up with Mars's orbit, we have to make sure we're launching kind of on that same inclination. Otherwise, it makes it easier. We'll put it that way. We can do it anywhere. Actually, for instance, the next Mars launch is not going to be, when we launch to Mars this year, from Vandenberg Air Force Base, the rocket doesn't even get into a normal orbit, like around the kind of, an easterly standard orbit. It's going to be going in a polar orbit, and they'll launch to Mars from a polar orbit. And actually almost all missions to Mars have actually launched from Vandenberg, which is weird because they don't actually get the extra inertial assist from the rotation of the Earth. But for whatever reason, we do that. Yeah. This is the same as yesterday, but without Principia, exactly. Or Principia, or whatever you want to say. Oh, yeah, I need to line up the planets. That's why I was doing this. So I'm just going to fast forward, speed time warp a little bit here until we get the target somewhere on the same inclination. And that will make this a lot easier. At least for me. At least for me, that someone that's not very good at this. Now this is actually the exact reason why sometimes launch constraints have a launch window, because they need to line up with like the inclination, or if they're rendezvousing with, say, the International Space Station, they need to have the planet lined up with that orbit and take off right then. So, yeah, almost all Mars missions. Look, we can actually see the rocket at night now. Isn't that way better? See, I told you it'd be worth it. I told you guys. All right, well, I think we're ready to launch this thing. It looks so beautiful. You know what I forgot? I forgot to hit play in music, so we'll do this. There. Yeah, I think this is gonna be great, guys. Yeah, SpaceX now has a website. Jack5 wants to post it. If a mod knows how to let someone post, please do. Yeah, anything SpaceX now, I would love to help promote. So yeah, find their stuff, guys. We're going to take off. Let's see. When are we going to take off in this song? I don't know if we need to line it up with the song. I think we're ready to launch. You guys ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hip, hip. There's engine ignition. We got to wait a second. And full thrust. 3, 2, 1. Go. Hip, hip. Eee! Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I love it. Look at that. That actually looks... I like these engines better. The other ones, for some reason, were, like, not loaded properly or something, and they were stretched too long, and these ones just look way better. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. No way. Rob Sermon's got me pulled up on his TV. That's awesome. Pulled up on his TV. Baby's watching me. Hello, Rob Sermon's baby and family. That's awesome. That's awesome. Rob is in our exclusive Discord channel for our Patreon members. Speaking of Patreon members, we just broke 200. That means I will be giving away a piece of flown space shuttle. So, congrats to who. It's not the 200th. What we do is we weight it. So everyone that has already been a Patreon, you get your name put in a hat based on, your financial contribution. So, yeah, so I will be announcing that. Maybe I have to figure out how to do the thing. My friend did a spreadsheet, so it weighted everyone's contributions, and then we pick a random number. So maybe if I can get my friend to do that by then, perhaps I'll be able to announce that tonight for the Zuma launch, but we'll see, guys. I'm really excited about it, though, so thank you so much to the 200 patrons. That's amazing, guys. That is awesome. So thank you. And look, we are starting a slow gravity turn here, guys. Maybe not that slow, but fairly slow. I need to be pretty careful with the Falcon Heavy. All right, and we're going to throttle back our center core, which in this game means we have to actually turn off engines because I don't have a way. So we turned off 4 of the 9 main engines in the center core. I don't have a way to individually throttle the center core's engines like they will in real life, and they'll like continually probably throttle down instead of one like big cut at some point. But I figured during max Q, which is where we're at now, as we're fighting the aerodynamic forces, it is worth it to cut those engines first so that we reserve a little bit of fuel in that center core, and that's exactly what SpaceX was doing. By the way, I'm almost getting too ahead of myself on this gravity turn. I am fighting it right now. This is kind of scary. It's trying to get pulled in. Like it's trying to tip over more than I want it to. And that's scary. Oh man, this thing is hard. This is hard to fly. I'm not gonna lie. This is very difficult. If I have my concentration face on right now, it's because this is quite difficult. Giving it lots of, having to just give it lots of love. Make sure it's not going to go super wildly off course. Okay, I think it's stabilizing a little bit. All right, guys. Will it be this slow in real life? That's a good question, because look at the timer up in the top left. You can see how slow my computer's running this. It's about 4 times slower than real life. So you can see that 1 second lasts about 4 seconds, it seems like. So that's my computer's fault. Yeah, it doesn't like Realism Overhaul. No computer really likes Realism Overhaul that much. Maybe an awesome computer. I have a fine computer, but I don't think I have an awesome computer. And if in order to really crank this baby up to the max, you gotta have a just like a supercomputer in your basement. Maybe someday. Lewis East asks, you just joined, why are we doing this mission again? Well, yesterday went okay. It actually went surprisingly well, but I think we can do better. Lewis, I made it so you can actually see the rocket at night. I had to mod it because we're still in 1.2.2 Kerbal, which doesn't have the built-in ambient slider, so I had to get a downloader so we can see it at night. I did that. I fixed some engines. I fixed a few other things, and I got rid of Principia, the mod that makes it almost impossible, just period. So yeah, now we can fly this. Oh, BFR SLS, choose your side. I don't think we need to choose a side there. Currently, they're both paper rockets, though, and until one launches, I'm gonna. And honestly, at this point, BFR almost has as much of a chance of launching before BFR or before SLS. But I have seen the upper stage of an SLS. I have stood underneath it. I'll probably put that in a video when I do my BFR versus SLS video. I'll probably include the little bit of me talking about the cryogenic upper stage. But yeah. So here we go, guys. Awesome, Sebastian. Thank you. Let's see. So I'm going to be doing booster separation here pretty soon, probably around the 2-minute mark. We maybe need to head a little bit south, just a little bit, to really head on that inclination of Mars. So that's our target there. And here we go, 1:55. So the boosters, remember the side boosters will basically be full throttle the whole time. The center core will throttle down. So that means the side boosters will separate, and the booster separation will happen before standard stage separation, most likely, of a normal Falcon 9 launch. All right, I think it's time to do this. I'm going to do a quick save. Quick save. Here we go, and we're going to cut off those engines, and we're going to jettison those boosters. Eee! All right, that's looking good. I also forgot to stage this with this, which it needs to be, so we'll get that ready. All right, we're looking good. So we'll actually come back to these boosters again like we did yesterday, and I think I figured out, somebody said that they thought my grid fins were backwards, and I need to make them negative 100. They were not backwards. They're correct, actually. The problem is they were overcompensating in SAS, so they're going crazy. So I found out if I don't try to hold like a retrograde pro vector, and if I just hold standard stability assist, it does great. So yeah, that was probably really loud. Is a Tesla going to Mars for velocity or just for the heck of it? For velocity? I don't think that's quite the right word you're looking for there. Let me answer some questions about this, because we're going to be doing this here. You're going to be seeing the mission-ish, an okay representation of the mission here play out in the next 15 minutes. But let me answer a question. People say, you know, is it going to Mars? Is it going to land on Mars? Not even close. Is it going to Mars? Not really. Is it going... So what it's actually going to be doing, they're sending the Tesla out. So the highest... It's only going to be orbiting the sun. And its highest point will reach out to Mars's orbit. The lowest point will reach Earth's orbit. So it won't actually be anywhere close to Mars per se. I hope that they can get it close enough in trajectory that it, you know, represents going to Mars. I don't even know if it'll reach Mars' sphere of influence. I don't think anyone knows. If anyone tells you they know, they're probably just reading rumors at this point, because I don't think anyone besides SpaceX actually knows the answer to how exactly. That being said, though, there is something we need to mention. People say all the time, Why are they sending a stupid Tesla instead of a space, instead of like something valuable to Mars? Why are they wasting this on a Tesla? This is way better than a normal. Remember, Falcon Heavy's first launch is a demonstration mission. That means it has a not a very high likelihood of succeeding per se compared to a normal rocket. Personally, I'm thinking like 90% success, hopefully. That's my personal 100% unscientific estimate. And we got to get ready here for booster separation here. But you're not going to risk $1 billion probe that's supposed to go to Mars on a rocket that has less than the absolute best odds of getting there. Normally, okay, so we're going to do engine cutoff here. And booster separation. And we're going to pull away like this. Look at my new Merlin vacuum engine. Look at this thing. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. And this is a slow separation. All right, and here we go. We're going to light this baby up. And there goes second stage ignition. Beautiful. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so normally a demonstration mission, they normally use like sand or steel or sometimes water, but water sloshes. I don't think water. They've launched water into space. But yeah, normally they just use a mass simulator. So the fact that this mass simulator is a Tesla is amazing. So guys, be excited about it. Don't be like, what? It's not a science probe. Of course it's not a science probe. They're not going to Mars. They're not landing on Mars, and it might not make it. So there we go. There we go. Exactly. And it's just a fun PR thing. Like, why not at this point? Yeah. So here we go. We're going to do fairing jettison in 3, 2, 1, hip hip. Bye, fairings. I gave them a lot more ejection force so they didn't get hung up. Yeah. And here is our Tesla in space. This is, if you actually stop and realize what they're doing here, this is just ridiculous. And I love it. Liam wants to know, what mod am I using to build the Falcon Heavy? I honestly don't really know for sure. I think there's procedural fairings, there's procedural tanks, there's some SpaceX reusability mod. There's a couple, like I just got new Merlin engines today that are nicer. I found this Tesla inside of a garage pack or something like that. But this is all realism overhaul, so it might not apply to like standard Kerbal. You probably could build this in Kerbal and it'd be hilariously overkill. But this is obviously using realism overhaul, so we are in a real solar system and a lot more realistic everything. So all right, so you can see now that this actually is a good representation right here, guys. This is those side boosters. The side boosters, obviously, their normal parabola, their normal, why do I always forget this word? Their ballistic trajectory, since they stopped early, is the shortest. It's the littlest arc. The center core right here was going a lot faster, burned for longer, so it went a lot further. The center core will have to land downrange on a drone ship somewhere around here. These side cores in real life will flip around, and we'll do that separately, but we have to do all the missions separately. It will turn around and land back on land because they don't have as much velocity to kill off. But now you can see we're still speeding up. So it's just like as if we threw a ball harder, it goes further. And so now you can see our ballistic trajectory, as if we're throwing a ball, is going further and further away. And as we speed up, it actually ends up getting to the point where it will eventually encompass the entire Earth. So you will see this line eventually just goes whoop right around the entire Earth, which is awesome. And that's how that works, ladies and gentlemen. Orbital Mechanics 101. All right. Settle down there, Fire Koala. I've got it under control. Your time to apoapsis is falling. Yes, it was. Oh, I just realized I'm drinking out of my own helmet here. That's what I should do. I should find a company that makes custom helmets, helmet mugs, and actually make it a 3D print on my face, and then you could just drink from my face in a helmet. That's weird. I don't want that anymore. Never mind. We're not doing that. We are absolutely not doing that. Am I watching, Lejules asks, am I watching the Zuma launch today? Not only am I watching it, I will be live streaming, answering questions live. Starting about 30 minutes before T-0. Hopefully everything goes off today. The Zuma launch has been pushed back for 2.5 months, so wish it luck. But I think everything's good to go now. We're going to start off 2018 with Zuma. I think I even almost started a live stream once. No, I don't think I ever did start a Zuma live stream because it never quite made it to launch day. Okay, we are almost into orbit here, guys. Let's take another look at. Here we go. We can see we're getting further and further and further here into our orbit, almost into an orbit. Yeah, it's also everything's going quite well actually. Let's see. Somebody said, "Is SpaceX going to send the car with cameras on it?" I assume there will be additional cameras, but here's the thing, guys. I don't know. I don't know the answer to this, but it's safe to assume they don't really have. They probably won't have. They definitely won't have the, or not definitely, but they probably won't have the car's batteries because those cells are not meant to be in space. It's not sure how much power and or solar panels and or things will be on it, so we don't know how long the vehicle will remain active after it leaves Earth's orbit. We also don't know what kind of communication it has back with Earth. We don't know what kind of cameras, but it's safe to assume that they at least gave it some cameras, some additional cameras, other than just like the normal upper stage cameras. But it's I don't know. That's the end of it, is that I don't really know, but I assume that they have additional cameras on the thing. Here we go, and we are now in orbit. 130,000 is our lowest point here. And our highest point is 381,000. So we're going to get up to our highest point here, and we are going to do an additional burn just to circularize. So you can barely see it here, but yeah, we are quite a bit higher out here. I can't even see that. Oh, there it is, down there. So we're quite a bit higher down here than we are here, but it's not that much higher. So we are looking good. Oh, we're gonna see an Earth rise. Or a sunrise behind the Earth, not an Earthrise. Come on. Pfft, get ready. Oh, this is going to be gorgeous. Just like a horse's. Alright. And here we go. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Oh, can I like hide this? Because it's ugly. There we go. Way better. Wow. Oh, wow. Let's look at this. Let's do this quick. Oh, wow. Wow. We're gonna screenshot this. Oh, neato. Oopsies. I just ignited the engine, and I think I can only do that like twice. Forget that shift is also crap. 2 ignitions remaining. We're fine. That was just a fun random burn. Is this real? Says Tomorrow. Hi, Tomorrow. Yeah, this is a live stream of SpaceX's actual launch. This is a live feed. I sent CubeSats out there ahead of time. Tomorrow might know a thing or two about what this might look like someday. Yeah. So there we go, guys. We are in our initial orbit, but we got to get it out here and get into a proper parking orbit. So we're going to go up to our apoapsis. And we're going to do a little burn, burnery-do, just to circularize. And then we're going to do our trans-Mars injection. TMI. TMI. Oh, look at... Oh, that is just beautiful. Wow. Oh, we have no connection right now. I hate that. That's probably one of the hardest things about realism overhauls, all the ground stations and stuff, because you almost never have connections, it seems like. Greetings from Poland. Howdy, howdy. When do I think BFR will be ready to take off? That's a great question. Honestly, I think by 2022 we'll actually see it launch. I don't know if we're going to see it going to Mars by 2022. I think that's a little bit overambitious, but at the same time, I mean, 5 years is enough time to develop a new vehicle. They're pretty far along in their, they're pretty far along, you know, in the Raptor development. Ooh, guys, this is going to be interesting. I don't think we're going to have quite enough delta V to... Actually, we're not even going to circularize. We're going to do our trans-Martian burn here, and it's going to take over 3,000 meters per second, so we might have to bleed off some RCS in order to lighten the load and use that to inject a little bit of extra delta V. Come on. No, come on. Help. Okay. There we go. That is going to break orbit. And where's it going? Am I even on the right side? I am not even close to the right place. We need it over here. There we go. Much better. And we're going to try to... so many things. Okay, so it's going to take 3,300 meters per second to get out to Mars' orbit. And this is what they're doing, basically. I'm going to play around with this a little bit. I don't think we have 3,300 to spend. We're going to see if we can get our apoapsis to be a little bit higher. So it's 198. Whoa. 180. 180. 1 something. 150. That's way worse. Oh, I see what happened. There, 197, 198, 199. 199 looks like it's the best we can do here. 199-ish. Okay, so we'll do our burn there. We will do a quick save. I like the way you're thinking, Canadian Proud. Have there been any visual updates on the BFR other than the Raptor tests? And the pictures of the BFR tank? No, we don't have anything additional. There's no other public information really available on BFR at this point. Yeah. Well, hi there from the SpaceX Now Discord. Awesome. Spaghetti. So here's what we're going to do, guys. Since we don't have 3,300 meters per second, like I said, I actually definitely overfilled this stage with way too much. This is just our RCS tank here. So if we bleed out a lot of that oxidizer and liquid fuel, generic liquid fuel for the RCS, we can use that to both propel ourselves and lighten the load for the main engine burn, and I think we'll be able to get out there no problem. Let's see. Beta launch. Yes, the BFR maiden launch can be a Tesla semi playing Space Odyssey on 10 different truck horns. That's amazing, Hugo. That's amazing. Does Falcon Heavy have a launch date? I'll say it for the... I'll just have to maybe do this on like repeat. I'll put a timer here. 5-minute repeat. Falcon Heavy... We don't know. SpaceX doesn't even really know. They haven't... Once they static fire, and so if you pay attention to SpaceX Now app on your phone... go to reddit.com/r/SpaceX. Follow SpaceX on Twitter. But you don't need to do any of that if you just have the SpaceX Now app, because it does it for you and notifies you. We won't really know any of those details until they static fire. Static fire will be the first real significant, oh, cool, and things will solidify, and we'll be like, hopefully we'll see a launch date come soon after static fire. So, yep. Let's see. The Tesla looks incredibly small in comparison to the vacuum engine. These are correct proportions, believe it or not. These vacuum engines are, they're 10 feet in diameter. They're huge. You could drive a car right up into it. It is that big. It's hard to really imagine how stinking huge this thing is, but here, this is helping. This helps me. So, pretty amazing, huh? Okay, so we're going to speed up, get a little bit closer to our burn. Bye, Earth. Well, not yet, but eventually, bye, Earth. Okay, here we go. We're going to zip-zap here over to our burn, which is in, let's see, 10 minutes. We're going to start about 4 minutes early and bleed off all that RCS, like I said. Okay, right there. Good enough. Here we go. Oh, no connection, of course. Great. Where's the next ground station? Okay, we're coming up on one here soon, hopefully. Oh, we're coming up to the something South Point. I don't know what that is. Okay, we're going to have to speed up until we find a connection. Oh, there we go. Connection. We got a connection. RCS on. There we go. Now notice this will be speeding us up a little bit. And it actually is going to be giving us delta V readout because the delta V readout does not take into account RCS. So not only is this actually pushing us a little bit forward, changing our velocity forward, speeding us up, it's also lightening the load that this main engine is going to be burning. So all we have to do is burn this until this number is lower than this number, and we'll be fine. Let's see, and I'm going to check out how much. You guys might not be able to see this here, but this, or I can do this, and then you'll be able to see it. There we go. Yeah, this is how much RCS we have left. And you can see those numbers are closing in real quick. We're only 100 meters per second off. What's my opinion on the game Surviving Mars? I don't have an opinion on the game Surviving Mars, but I wish I did. Let's see. We are getting close, 3260 and 3200 left, so we're closing the gap. We'll be fine. We'll be absolutely fine. Yes, delta V is difference in velocity. Jin Shan asks if I'm doing the Zuma launch tonight. Yes, absolutely. We're about I will be live streaming in about minus 7 hours from right now. Yeah. So get ready, me. All right, look at that. Our two numbers have are about to. Yeah, look at that. This is now lower than this, so we can actually do this now. I'm gonna go a little bit further, but this is gonna be great. Tomorrow says, "Oh my God, I'm doing the Zuma launch too." I can hear that in Ben's voice, and he literally is doing the Zuma launch tonight. Maybe we'll see some of his pixels, maybe, on our screen. Who knows? All right, we better do this burn because we are coming up on it. So here we go, guys. Ready? 3, 2, 1, hip hip, engine ignition. And there goes the upper stage. Look at that. Oh, this is fantastic. But I don't want to smash that car, so we're going to try to keep the G-forces a little bit low. So now that this tank is almost empty, this engine is insanely overpowered and could literally probably crush the whole thing. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on the throttle and throttle down occasionally. What types of engines are those? Are those gas thrusters or are those Super Dracos? Or these are Drake. These are the advanced Vernier thrusters. Yeah, they're in the Kerbal reusability expansion pack, I think, which has the awesome landing legs, the grid fins, and these. And then these engines I got this morning. I just typed in Merlin engine Kerbal Space Program, and I typed in Merlin engine Kerbal Space Program realism overhaul, and found these, and I'm very happy with them, mostly because they look great and because they work goodly. Oh, our G-forces are through the roof again. We are crushing that car into little bits at this point almost. Good question. Faradrim asks that he downloaded the SpaceX Now app, and it says the customer is unknown. This is a military contract. We honestly don't even know which department of the military or of the government it is, which is kind of crazy to think about, but it's just a government. Oh, hold on. I hope I didn't just ruin our chances without another piece of ignition, because but I think we are, look at that. We are heading out to Mars. I'm going to just keep doing this. Keep raising our apoapsis using just RCS. And we still have a little bit of delta V left in our main engines, but I'm just going to do it with RCS right now, so that we actually properly almost intercept something. Mars! Oh, we got a little ways to go here, huh? Mars is further away than I thought. 202. Actually, we might as well. We're going to fire up that main engine and do one last, we'll call this our correction burn, but here we go. We're going to give it what we got. Burn out, baby. Oh, hi. Hello, G-forces. Okay, we have a little bit further to go. And at this point, RCS now is going to finish off, but it looks like Look at that. We kind of crossed beyond where Mars is. See that? Apparently Mars is fairly elliptical. I didn't realize that. Look at that. See? See? It's not so bad, guys. That's it. This is Mars. This is us going out towards Mars. There we go. Hey, Ollie's in the chat. Hi, Ollie. Ollie is the find maker of the world's nicest models of SpaceX things. Hey, Ollie. Great work as always, my friend. All right, guys, we're going to take this baby out into space. Ooh, we better find an epic space song. And that's going to be this one. You ready for this? Y'all ready for this? We're going to do this. We're going to make this beautiful. And we're all going to get very emotional and cry just a little bit. I'm going to turn up the music just a little bit too. Okay. Here we go, guys. Bye, Tesla. Hope you like your new dad. Oh, wow. Okay, everyone. Wow. Actually, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, I like this. Oh, there goes the United States. Bye. Bye, Hawthorne. Bye, Florida. Bye, my house. Oh, there's the sunrise. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. You can see the whole entire Earth. Oh, man. Wow. Yep. Fantastic, huh? I'm pretty happy with this, guys. Look at that. That is awesome. Bye, Earth. You were fun. I like sitting on you. Bye, Dad. I better take a picture of this. And I'm guessing that's going to try to fire up the engine, but whatever. There is no engine to fire up anymore, I don't think. Try not to cry, be strong. That is gorgeous. That's really cool. I love when this game actually surprises me with how pretty it is. Oh, man. Well, guys, that's actually the end of... This is basically all SpaceX will be doing at this point, I believe, which is getting it onto a trans-Martian, heading out on an elliptical orbit that gets it out, a heliocentric, so around the sun, Mars orbit-ish, intersecty-ish thing. There you go. That's my explanation. I hope it was good for you too. So, what we're going to be doing, will SpaceX separate the second stage? I don't know, actually. I think they'll actually just keep it attached to the second stage for radio communications, because the second stage has all the stuff built in, the flight computers and everything. I would guess that they're just going to keep it on there, but I don't know. I'm sure there's someone in the chat room right now laughing that knows exactly. Let's see. It should try to land the Tesla on Mars. Well, we don't have any more Delta V. We don't have any way of doing that. But maybe that could be something. Maybe we'll make a Falcon Heavy in an upcoming live stream and actually try to do that. That'd be a lot of fun, actually. We could put landing gear on this and try to land it. That'd be really fun. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to try to do that. Did I imagine myself doing this when I was a child? Or was this the extent of my what? Aspirations? Was doing what as a child? Being a fake astronaut? Nobody, including myself, thought that in the future I was going to be a science communicator of some sorts. And yeah, this has been an interesting year of transition as 2017 sure was, as I moved out of professional photography. I didn't even see becoming a professional photographer until it happened. And then next thing you know, it's literally my life. And same type of thing with this stuff, guys. Only about 3 years ago, 3 years ago, 2014, CRS-3 is the first time that I saw Falcon 9 with my own eyes. I knew almost nothing about it. And all I knew was I was sad about the state of the U.S. launch program. The fact that we're still using launch vehicles that share their heritage and haven't evolved much beyond 1960. And yet, I was disappointed because I was just going down to a SpaceX launch. Oh, boring, you know. It was my first launch I was shooting. And I was like, dang it, these are just little rockets. They aren't that cool. And then I saw it, and I go, this is a really big rocket. And not only that, it had landing legs. And we stood there and we go, like, that's the first, it just totally clicked for me. And I'm like, this is 21st century. They're going to try to land this thing. Like, you know, it's one of those things where you always go, well, why don't they just land the rocket instead of throwing it away? And yes, the concept, the principle is obvious. It's a no-brainer. Just like, why don't we power the entire world with solar panels and then drive electric cars and drive for free, and we don't even have to, like, burn any fuels? It totally makes sense. But it sometimes takes a while to get to that point, you know? And there's a lot of things that had to be developed. And, yeah, this is no exception. And so standing underneath this rocket with landing legs and hearing people laugh and say it was so stupid. But to me, I was just like, yes, this is incredible. This is a 21st century launch vehicle. This is the future. This is what I've been wanting as a, at that point, not very big space fan, but as someone, that's what got me excited about space. That's what I stood there and just go, I see a future in this. I see this is very exciting now. And yeah, so here I am today. I did not see any of this coming. I did not see being absolutely enamored by space flight, and in space history, and that's, yeah. So there we go. That's that, and we are going to try to land the cores now, which won't happen. But yeah, I think it's time. I think that's the end of my rant there. All right, we're gonna turn the music down a little bit here again. Okay, here we go. We're gonna grab one of these cores, the probes. Have I seen any land in person? Yes, I saw CRS-12 was the first mission that I got to see land in person. I was, as a member of the press, we get to be fairly close, so we had the option of standing at the causeway, which is like 2.5 or 3 miles away. That's intense. So here we go. We're gonna do this flip this core. The center core is still burning. So we're just reloaded this basically now, guys. And we have to prepare to do our boost back burn. The second part of your question, what's it like? It's intense. We're gonna make it so we only use 3 engines, 3 out of the 9. There's a moment where you're just sitting there going, is this thing going to fall on me? Because it looks like it's straight above you. And you're going, no way, you know, like, it looks like it's just gonna fall on you. And it's huge, and you can see it, and it's coming down, and you're just nervous. It's insane. And then the sonic boom happens, and it shakes you, and it is absolutely incredible. Yeah, it's fantastic. I highly recommend it. And thank you, Derek Smith, for a tip. That means a lot. Hello, good morning. All right, here we go. We're going to bring this in. So now we're doing our boost back burn. This is when we cancel out the velocity. Remember, those stages were falling this way. We can actually see the old trajectory here was this. See this line right here? This is where the other booster that we haven't controlled yet will be falling. But we're reversing that. We're actually bringing it, we're slowing it down, and we're going to reverse the actual direction of travel so it's heading back to land. And that's what the boost back burn is. Seems like it's a little longer than normal. I'm trying not to be concerned. Oh, awesome. A big fan from Pakistan. Thank you for saying hi. Ollie says the SpaceX launch is more important than sleep. I agree with that. I've only missed one SpaceX launch since 2013, live streaming. And that was, I was on a flight and I could not get the Wi-Fi to work. Otherwise, that's the only excuse. One time I had to drive 20 minutes in the middle of the night. I was in South Dakota with my family on vacation, and we were 20 minutes away from the closest like cell phone tower that would work, at least have like LTE. And the launch was like 2:30 or 4 in the morning or something, some ridiculous time. Well, I got up and I drove in to watch the launch. That's how obsessively dedicated I am. All right, here we go. You can see we are going to be over land now. I don't know where we're landing. Somewhere in Titusville, it looks like again. Classic. I don't really want to land in this. Okay, well, at least we're going to be on land. And we do not have a lot of Delta V. This is probably not going to work out. But we're going to try. We're going to deploy those grid fins. There's Linux Machine 2016 with the question we get every 2 minutes. Oh, man. Let's see. Ooh, dang it. We got German speakers in the chat, and I wish I could speak German. I only know, like, no words in German. But I'm going to come to Germany. I'm going to visit you guys. What is this guy's job? YouTube can't pay for the house he's in? You're not seeing any of my house. You're seeing a room. This could be a trailer. I mean, you don't know where I live. You're seeing like 2 walls. 2 walls could cost like $40 worth of drywall and carpet. I like that you think that I'm well-to-do, though, from my walls. I thank you. That's very flattering. This is my job, not necessarily just YouTube, but public speaking and science communication. And you'll see more from me this year, not just here on YouTube, but there's some other things in the works that I can't quite talk about yet because they aren't quite official. But yeah, that's, we'll say that, no, YouTube did not even come close to paying for this house. That was the past 9 years of photography and my wife's income as well. So not even close to YouTube income. The pennies here on YouTube. Yeah. Awesome. K20 Service Clients TV. Hi, astronauts from France. Can't wait for tonight's launch. I can't either. Weekend randomizer. Yes, we did a big long shout out to John Young yesterday. He is literally one of my favorite astronauts. And I made a video about kind of why John Young is awesome. If you haven't watched that, seriously watch it. It's just 5 minutes. I show clips and I tell you funny stories like the time he snuck a sandwich into space and got in trouble. He is hilarious. He's going to be very dearly missed. So, yep, there's, yeah, there we go. Have I had sponsorship offers? I have had, yes, and I have turned down. I did one sponsored video earlier this year. I don't like doing that. It felt disingenuous. I don't like that I have to put it permanently into my video so that, say, in 2 years or something, what if something changes and that company's not even around and all of a sudden you have this permanently me talking about audible.com or something, you know? It just seems, I don't like that. I'd rather YouTube figures out a way to partner with sponsors so that you can change it and you could insert mid-roll if you need to. Like if you need to pop into even if it's me talking about a thing, maybe there's a 3-month window where, I could be like, we're going to take a quick break and it interrupts the content so that later on you can delete it, or later on when the sponsorship's over, you can erase that or whatever. But I don't like permanently putting those things in videos. I did get paid to do some Instagram stuff with these MOVA globes here. That was the only sponsored content I've ever done on Instagram as well. And I would consider being an ambassador for these guys because I love these globes and people ask about them all the time. I would consider something like that, but I don't want to just be like, today's something is brought to you by MOVA globes. Buy their globe. That just, I don't know. That's not really what I'm about. So that's not what we're going to be doing around here. Did I just run out of RCS fuel? Yes, I did. Well, this will be interesting. Apparently yeah. Let's see. Do I think plasma drilling is viable? Plasma drilling for upcoming moon? I don't know enough about that to even know if that's valid. That's a question if I've ever heard one. Yeah, MOVA globes are rather expensive, but they are awesome. You watched an Atlas NROL 61 and a Delta 4 in person in Titusville, and you visited Florida back in 2016. That's awesome. Tomorrow. Don't even get me started. Tomorrow, the ultimate troll. All right. So here we go. Here's what we're gonna do. We are going to be. The launch is not on the 15th, Brian. We know that for sure because Elon just recently said that. Oh, we gotta be doing our reentry burn here. Otherwise, this is gonna be bad. He said end of the month, and if he says that, it's probably fairly true. We're gonna fully throttle up just so we don't experience much gravity loss because we do not have a lot of Delta V remaining. I'm a little scared that we are absolutely not even close to making this happen. 900. Oh gosh, we only have. Okay, well. Oh no. Wait. What button do I need to hit? Did I stage this thing wrong? I may have staged this wrong. Yeah, we're going to be doing a 3-engine landing burn. Which is almost impossible for a computer. So we'll see how I compare to a computer. I think pretty good. So, here we go. We're using the lift of the body of the vehicle to help bleed off a lot more speed. And like this. But we just got to keep those G-forces reasonable. There we go. There we go. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Reasonable, I said. Reasonable. They don't pitch it over this much, but I'm going to because we are out of Delta V. If we land this thing like this, I will crap my pants. I make that threat a lot, but it's probably true. Okay, and here we go. We're going to start lighting up these engines because it takes a minute for them to throttle. Oh god. Okay, let's get these landing legs out. We're closer than I thought, actually, on this. Without RCS. Oh no, we're going up, we're going up. This is bad. I am not as good as a computer, apparently. I knew it. We are doing some fun cartwheels. I have to fix the staging on that so we could do a single engine landing burn. Andrew M. Shepard, thank you for the tip. 2018 resolution, troll some flat earthers. I already engaged with those people enough. I would like to see less of them, to be honest. And I don't know if trolling's the solution, but I do appreciate your insight. Well, look at that. We only blew up most of it. And what is happening now? Are we just... Are we in the upside down right now or something? Or what's... Wow. Well, that almost actually kind of worked. All right. Let's do the other core. It says it landed. I'll say that's nice. All right, we're gonna do a more aggressive boost back burn. I'm gonna not let it finish its flip here on this one. We really gotta save up some Delta V. But crap, I forgot that. Oh yeah, maybe I can manually turn off the engines. That's what I'll do for the landing burn. There we go. Okay, here we go. We're going to do this flip right away. Turn on the engines, get it down to just 3 of them. As soon as we're pointing even remotely retrograde, I think I'm going to start firing up those engines. I want this boost back burn to be more aggressive. Okay, here we go. Engines are firing up. This will also help it rotate over quicker. There we go. And I'm going to not worry about increasing our apoapsis on this one and just let it mostly negate the speed. I think that'll be a little bit more efficient. Okay, so let's take a look here. And last time we ended up a little bit north, is that correct? I would like to... We flew a little bit too far north. Okay, what is delta V? Delta V is change in velocity. So delta V is basically like how much can you change the speed of your vehicle, right? If you were in a car and, you know, say you have a 400-mile range, that's kind of like how far your car can travel. But the thing about cars is, you know, it's not that simple because they can change a lot of different things and there's friction and all these things. But up in space, or even on the Earth, we'll say up in space, if you want to change where you're going, it requires propellant. It requires you to actually exert energy out one direction quickly so that it pushes against the spacecraft in the opposite direction. And yeah, that's delta V. And in order to do that, you have to burn your engines and all this stuff. Yeah. Try autonomous landing with MechJeb. MechJeb does not like doing suicide burns, believe it or not. I have better success landing myself than I do with MechJeb, so. Hello from Venezuela. Awesome. Do I think SpaceX will successfully recover both boosters with Falcon Heavy? I think if they successfully do stage separation, that they will have no problem landing. Whoop! There we go. I could have fallen a little bit short. We're still very short on Delta V. I'm also going to turn off RCS this time. We're going to speed up here. And then what I'm going to do after the landing burn, I'm going to untoggle. I'm going to turn off these outer engines so we can do a single engine landing burn. Of course it was faked. It was filmed at a secret base on Mars, talking about the moon landing. Need to aim a little south due to the angle of the Earth, says Rob Sermon. You're right. That probably would have corrected for that. Let's see here. We are going to... Paul just said that he was accidentally watching yesterday's live stream instead of watching the current actual live stream. Well, I'm sorry, Paul. I apologize for doing the same thing twice in a row. Alright. I'm trying to maintain a little bit of extra RCS. Okay, we better do our reentry burn here. We're going to slow down just to about 1,000 meters per second this time, giving ourselves plenty of fuel to land with. I'm going to do a quick save. Oh, I'm nervous. Let the pant crapping begin. This one, no thrust. This one, hurry. No thrust. Is that the right one even? No, it's not. This one? Nope, not. This one? Yes. No thrust. Okay, hopefully we just have the center engine that lights up now. Oh, it looks like we still had two. Okay, that's why we quick saved here. I clicked on the wrong ones, I think. Trying to do one engine, but I messed up the action groups. We'll see. Yeah, not good. Let's see. Nope. Yes. No. Oh, this one. Thrust limit off. That means this one. Thrust limit off. Oh. Already got that. Okay. That should do it. And also, I need to change my pitch a little bit to slow down a little more. Woo! Maybe that was too much. Wow, it didn't break up though. Eek! Okay, let's get this engine going. Hopefully it's just one. It is. Throttle down. Throttle down. Throttle up. Oh god. Legs. We need legs. Crap. Oh, we still had two engines going? Why? I'm confused. Oh, I'm confused. Well, that was my attempt at the boosters today, guys. Let's see. Somebody, Boomerang Demonico. Do I think SpaceX is really a game changer, or is it just overrated? I do a very long speech. Make sure, honestly, if you want the real, my honest, real answer on this, Watch my video, The Best Space Moments of 2017. Watch it all the way through. At the end, I give you a rundown on why what SpaceX and other companies are working on is so significant and why it really is game-changing and why it really does matter. And it all basically revolves around economics and the viability of making space more feasible. So, yes, it really is. It's as exciting as people make it out to be. There's a reason why everyone's so excited. And it has nothing to do... Elon's great. I love what Elon does, but it's not because it's not... It has nothing for me to do with Elon Musk's doing it. Elon Musk could do something terrible, and I'd be like, that's not good. But in this case, it is very exciting. Let's see. There we go, guys. Andrew Shepard's apparently insulted that I'm wearing a hat inside. Sorry for wearing a hat indoors. I didn't know that was a faux pas. Whoops. Let's see. Is that a Celestron ambassador in the background? Something like that. It's a Celestron, yep. Alright. So, yes, for everyone watching, yes, I will be doing a Zuma live stream tonight. By the way, we do have an extra core, but we don't have anywhere to land it. We can at least practice re-entering and see if we can do a soft touchdown. Let's do that. Let's see. I will be doing the Zuma live stream tonight. That's correct. Let's see. One question: do Zuma? Is it really a soy satellite or a spy satellite? If it's I wish it was a soy satellite. That would be great. I want a soy satellite. Somebody make it so, please. Well, hang on. I might have to just ignite the second stage here real quick and then bounce back to the... Otherwise, this is going to be awkward, seeing it fall and not go anywhere. Okay, now we're going to go back to the stage here. Alright, this stage, now the center core, guys, remember, it doesn't do a boost back burn. I need to do something here. What is it that I need to do? I need to hit 4 and then 1 to turn it down to 3 engines. There we go. But we are going to... This will be just following its ballistic trajectory. We're going to get those grid fins out right away. And voila. Please play Take on Mars and Universe Sandbox 2. They're some of the best games. I have never heard of them. Try shutting the engine down. That's a good idea. I like that idea. Somebody says... But we still have to do the Reentry Burn, guys. Don't forget that. Is there actually a shutdown engine, though, without activating it first? I don't think there is. I think lowering the thrust all the way is the only way to actually do that. So, yeah. Space PT, I would like you to stop asking me to say something that I don't know what it means. It's not going to happen, so... Yeah. Let's see. Would the second stage or Roadster have a camera? I don't know the answer to that, but I would assume so. Second stage already has cameras. They always have that payload camera, so I wouldn't be surprised. Hopefully they have additional cameras. It'd be really cool if they had like extra 4K cameras or something that can record and then, you know, maybe not download or live stream, but just so they could download data packets and get really beautiful shots with it. But we will see, guys. It's coming up, you know. Yep, it's gonna be great. Is the Vfr too expensive for SpaceX? No. SpaceX is they're coming up on like a $20 billion company. They, you know, and honestly, the Vfr isn't, yes, it's going to be expensive, but it's not insanely expensive. I mean, it's not like we're trying to build, you know, a Nimitz class destroyer or something, or I don't know what those like giant ships, like the nuclear powered aircraft carrier. I think the whole entire cost of that is like is more expensive than the entire GDP of like Moldova or something ridiculous. It's not like they're trying to do that on private funds. They're building a vehicle that might be totally making a number up here, but you know, it might cost $500 million to build. That's reasonable. It's not like it's just insanely expensive. And the whole point of it being entirely reusable is you can just make a small fleet of them. And there you go. You don't have to build a new one every time you launch it. So it doesn't matter if the first one's expensive. If it's reused 100, 1,000 times, that's game changing, you know? They're up to 13 billion for a Ford class carrier. Oh my gosh. $13 billion for an aircraft carrier. That's insane. Yeah, the U.S. military budget is a bit overkill, if you ask me. Alright, we got to be doing our reentry burn here. And I'm pointing the wrong way. We got to be pointing at retrograde. Let's light these engines up before we totally overheat. We need to get down to about 2,000 meters per second to avoid not absolutely being obliterated as we re-enter. What are we coming up on? Is that the Falcon Heavy? Or, I mean, is that our Tesla? Oh, we re-entered way too late and lost some engines. It's still losing things. We are on fire. Help. This is an extra spicy re-entry. Oh, we lost it. That's what happens when you re-enter too late. Whoops. Yeah. That was a little bit too spicy of a meatball. But we tried, and I think that's actually going to be it, since I have to be, I'm going to live stream here again tonight, guys. I don't want to, like, sit here all day, believe it or not. So I think that's going to be it. We tried. I'll be practicing around with this, and someday in the near future, guys, maybe I'll actually try to land a Tesla on Mars using, like, a concoction of, like, a super heavy Falcon, like a Falcon Heavy or something funny. But we'll just try to, like, it'll be ridiculous. It'll be super unrealistic. It'll be very difficult, but we're going to try. So, just, you know, pay attention to that. So make sure you're subscribed with a little bell so you know when I go live. I don't go live that often, so it's not like I'm going to annoy you, I promise. Although this weekend's an exception. I live streamed yesterday, I'm live streaming this morning, and I'm live streaming tonight. So it will be maybe potentially annoying right now, but too bad. Yeah, try to land the boosters first. You know what? I've done that, though. I do have a video back in there somewhere of me. It's a live stream where I was landing the first stage booster in Realism Overhaul, and I could actually do it fairly successfully. I haven't done that in a while. I need some practice. And I just, you know, new engines and stuff, it kind of changed a little bit. So, yeah. So, I think that's going to be it for me, everybody. Remember, we will be giving away, yeah, a piece of space shuttle tonight, I think. I'll see if I can get my friend to go ahead and do that thing that he did where he weighted it out by the number of contributions. But thanks to all the new Patreon supporters. There's still 2 left. You can actually see them right there. So if you do want a chance to win a piece of space shuttle, go ahead and sign up now. Since we haven't made the chart, you could probably be included. It might not be fair. But at 300 again, we'll be giving away another piece, and then at 400 another piece of space shuttle. So pretty exciting stuff. Join me tonight for Zuma. That will be in 6 hours, less than that, 6.5 hours, I guess, from right now for me to start live streaming. Yeah, and make sure if you guys want like mugs or hats, you can go to my web store, everydayastronaut.com/shop. You can find prints too, like of SpaceX launches, like this picture of CRS-3. Lots of fun stuff, guys. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. So make sure and join tonight. Tell your friends if they want to come ask questions about it. Remember the Zuma launch and SpaceX launches, I can concentrate a lot more on the actual launch, or on the chat, and answer questions more directly. When I'm playing Kerbal, I have to concentrate quite a bit, so I apologize if I'm not as like able to read questions and stuff. So yeah, that is going to be it. So yeah, thank you everybody. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. Or if you end up coming back tonight, or it might be like Monday morning for some of you guys for Zuma, get ready for that. So, thanks for sticking around, everybody. That's going to do it for me. I'm Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, bringing space down to Earth for everyday people. Bye. Maybe. I got to get better at this part. Why is it doing this to me lately? What's that? Let's try this button. think we all dreamt about going to space when we were kids. But when the space shuttle program ended in 2011, I discovered a void in my life. That emptiness led to a newfound obsession with space. A few years later, I wound up bidding on a Russian spacesuit as a joke. When the box arrived at my doorstep, my friends asked, "What are you going to do with a spacesuit?" The answer? What can't I do with a spacesuit? And that's how Everyday Astronaut was born. Since then, the suit hasn't left my side. It's even gone around the world with me. From remote villages in Myanmar, rockets and spaceships, to beautiful fields in Norway. I'm fighting a cow to get a picture right now.
Here I am on vacation in the beautiful Norway with my beautiful boyfriend.
I even proposed to my wife in the suit at Machu Picchu in Peru. These days I work with leaders in the space industry to create fun and inspirational content. I've even been invited to different NASA facilities across the country, all for the sake of sharing my excitement with the world.
Hey there, it's me, Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware, but NASA is doing some incredible... This is church for us space nerds.
This is where Gene Kranz was sitting when people first met him.
This is with permission. I still don't know how.
I love that I'm standing on something that says urine bags.
This thing's gonna fly like a cat in heat. Whatever that means. That dog's gonna have a sore throat by the end of the day, I'll tell you that. Especially once he tries to explain to his friends that he just saw an astronaut flying majestically through the sky for an hour.
This thing has officially become the bane of my existence.
Everyday Astronaut's mission is to bring space down to Earth for everyday people, to communicate science through humor and imagination, but most importantly, to spark your curiosity, to want to find your place in the cosmos. Join my adventures as I seek to find out why exploring space is important, inspiring, and quite frankly, really, really neat. Show your support by visiting patreon.com/everydayastronaut.